Tilly, an Oniromancer and an expert at finding the lost and the missing. Guided by Corrine Tilly, the Witcher had a dream. In it, Ciri and I, the bard Dandelion, were reunited. Geralt now knew that to find Ciri, he would first need to find his dear old friend.
Did the narrator just say Ciri and I, the bard Dandelion? Is that the guy that's telling the story? That's interesting.
Spend all night spanking whores.
There's a guy painting a painting through the painting. There's another person asking me if I spend all night smacking horse. That's quite a cold open. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another episode of The Witcher 3. Welcome back to this amazing game. Interesting thing happening is that when I opened up the launcher for The Witcher 3, the launcher was like, hey, what about The Witcher 4? Have you seen the trailer yet? And it got me thinking, like, first of all, no, I have not seen the trailer yet or any of the material. I know that Ciri is going to be the main protagonist. That's all I know so far. But it got me thinking, am I indulged? Am I in love with The Witcher enough to warrant me heading into The Witcher 4? And I don't know. There's a bunch of other things for me to do, a bunch of other games for me to play. I love this game. I appreciate it greatly. But I don't know if I'm that into it as I know some people like my good friend Krogren are into it.
A night patrol got massacred. Tough men, the lot, armed to the teeth. A beast, must be.
Must? What makes you say that?
Have you seen the corpses?
We have one enthusiastic The Witcher fan here in this household though. Looking at how the story progresses. At least there's somebody excited for The Witcher 4. Tell me about the bodies, please. How mutilated were they?
I've seen anything like it in my life, and I've seen a lot of corpses. Ever heard talk of folk who died in the deserts of Zerrikania from the heat alone? These corpses came straight out of those tales.
Something to do with heat, something to do with fire.
Bodies buried yet? Where?
Orders were to burn them. Our medic was to take a look first, talk to him. He's at the docks now.
Will do.
See what I can do.
We'll pay you. The boys and me, we pulled what we had for a reward.
I don't need that payment, but I guess it is the way the cookie crumbles and the way the world works around here and in general, right? I'm gonna make a quick pit stop with this armorer fella to repair my armor. Went into the wrong menu, but it is interesting to know that a silver sword we can craft for the next level is already gonna be better than the relic sword we have. Although, it has no special abilities. This is the recipe we found last episode, I think. Ursine Silver Sword Superior. Quite a large price. And we definitely don't have the items needed yet. Level 37, that's all way out of our league for now. So I think we should just not be worried about it. And we should go back to where we can repair everything. Repair equipped. 201, that's not nothing. We don't need to repair these things. Maybe he can even sell, or we can sell them to him. He gives 223. Now that is a decent price. He pays the full 431? Goodbye. I know that the swords that I have equipped are not as holy, as amazing as I make them out to be, because I know that, for example, I should look more at the secondary stats, the things like the critical hit chance, the thing like the sign intensities, but I'm not doing that right now because I feel like I don't need to min-max in that sense right now. I think that's everything I want from this fella right now, and it's a nice little side quest we went on. Had a very chill day today, one of the chillest in recent history. Normally I'm always so focused on being productive. Normally every day has to be productive. And don't get me wrong, the day was still productive. I worked a bit on something for school, for my therapy education, on a group assignment we are doing concerning Les Greenberg, the South African/Canadian founder of emotion focused therapy, a sub-school of therapy that is subsiding in the client-centered, the humanistic branch, which is exactly the branch I am in. I guess that's not stealing, even though I'm doing it right for his face, right in front of his face rather, so that's nice. And I mean, it's okay for me to have a balance between being... You don't have to look at me like that, you can continue fishing. A balance between me being productive and also doing chill shit during the day, but normally I am just productivity built all the way through. This day though, I achieved the balance. Did some things for school, went for a nice little run, and just had some nice dinner, and I thought, what else to finish the day off with before I go into reading, then a nice recording session. Also played some video games, played some League of Legends again. Had been a month and recorded that as
I'm
well.
looking into the dead guards. Heard you did autopsies.
Did their friends hire you? Good. I'm happy to help.
Find any wounds on those
Find any
bodies?
claw or fang marks on the bodies?
Fangs? No. Claws? Not quite. Only scratches. Fingernails, most likely. From their adventures with whores.
Whores.
Last body. Where was it found?
In a side alley along the road from the docks to the brothel district. Someone had dropped it there in the middle of the night.
Need to examine that spot.
This guy is quite confident that there was a lot of human interactions with these casualties. The adventures with horse cost the fingernails, they were dropped
Bodies
in an
were
alley.
desiccated.
Do you believe a beast killed them? I don't. The bodies were dried out. But perhaps they tried to apprehend a mage who cast a nasty spell on them.
Was it dehydration?
Strictly speaking, no. Though I don't quite know what to compare it to.
Thanks. Should go see the place where they were found.
Good luck.
It's interesting that that's exactly what I was talking about, that this guy was not talking about it in terms of beast-like casualties or injuries rather, or a beast as the reason for their termination in terms of living. He was immediately talking about something human happening to them. Well, I guess murder is kind of inhuman, but something caused by a human rather than where he was failing.
Who's captain of this ship?
Looking at her.
Rather than
Aye. Her.
beast-like or whatever. I think that's how I had to finish that sentence.
Shocking as shit, I know.
Skellige as well, so another option.
Farewell.
Interesting. I'm sorry. Because I think up until now the only option we had to get to Skellige was that captain we found in a bar somewhere. Our quest log, our mission log will probably tell us where it was, but I can't imagine. I can't remember right from the top of the dome. Oh, those are some clues. Clues, wow.
A horse? No horse I know walks on two legs.
So there's human footprints. There's hoof prints. I guess the hoof prints. Am I stupid?
Well, sorta, kinda.
I do like what I see. Am I stupid for, first of all, thinking that these hoof prints were leading me in this direction? I mean, it makes a lot of sense that the hoof prints go the other way around when I think about it a bit further, but there's something about them being open towards this side that makes me think that, oh yeah, we have to move to the open side, but it's counterintuitive. Or am I just spitting complete nonsense right now? I think that makes some sense, but then again, does it make that much sense? Because it doesn't quite relate to human feet and their footprints. I mean, they don't really have an open and closed side, I guess. So that doesn't make that much sense.
Evidence all points to crippled Kates.
Crippled Gates? How do we know that there's a person living here named Crippled Gate? Talk to the brothel owner. Oh, hold on.
Perfume vial. Expensive. Neighborhood's a bit shabby for this.
Okay, so we found an additional scent to follow, which I think is kind of some bonus material. This guy has some strong... Guy or woman, not to be sexist, murder can be committed by women as well. But that person has quite a strong scent. And it's not because she or he has not showered in quite a while, which could also give up quite a strong scent.
Where am I?
You alright?
I was in the house.
That one?
I believe so. Forgive me. I must rest.
Charmed by a succubus? Gotta get in that house, see what's inside.
We can peer in through the window a little bit. Yeah, that looks quite succubus-esque, if I do say so myself. That's quite funny that we spotted that through the window. And it also makes me want to save the game right now, to be honest. Because a succubus sounds like quite a formidable foe. Hey, hello. Oh, it's locked. Key required. Jumping around is not really gonna help us, it seems like. How else do we get into the house? Maybe it has something cellar-esque, basement-esque. Well, there's a back door in clear sight here, which is locked as well. But if that person could just maybe unlock it for us, we could use this to get inside. Do we try to get onto the roof? Is that what we're doing here? I presume it's not what we're doing, but hey, that looked cool at least already. Let me go through this house. Okay, this door is unlocked. This door is red. Can break it with art, it seems. Maybe we're getting somewhere here.
Can't you see he's a witcher? Likely tracking some beast.
Mug like that won't get you a copper.
I am indeed tracking some beast. Okay, this seems promising. Or this seems very promising. Hello, beggar. Don't mind me. This seems to be the right house. If I look at the tapestries and everything hanging, oh, we found a way. But what was the use of that door breakable by art there? I don't really understand that. Let's just drop down. And I guess we can loot everything in here if there is anything to loot, because a succubus doesn't deserve all of this gear. I will equip Gwen and make sure it is a sign I have equipped, or I have it on autocast. Hello. What's happening here?
Who are you?
Ever heard of witchers?
Is
Have
this
you come to kill me?
just a regular human being? I want to talk first.
Dunno. Wanna talk first? Why'd you kill those guards?
I was careless. Let them surprise me. They wished to kill me. I had to defend myself.
That it? No heart-rending story about human hatred for all things different, all things strange.
I'm not one to lie, nor do I kill without reason.
I mean, I don't want to kill her.
You gotta leave the city.
And what if I don't?
I'll have to kill you.
I despise change. How stupid of me to walk into an ambush, let myself be surprised.
I'll have to lie about killing you. Usually I bring a trophy.
Very well, take this. And this, because I'm furious with you. Though I shall calm down once I'm away from this place.
You can be furious with me all you want, but I mean, I spared your life. I know that it's hard for you to see it that way because you feel like there's nothing going on here, but alright, well, I guess I'll see you never. I guess those hooves are indeed very much present. She gave me a sword. This is bound to be the easiest contract we've ever done. The sword is not better, but it will fetch us a nice buck. As with almost everything lately. I'm glad we can just walk out the door in the other way and don't have to roam around their attics more. I hate swapping cobwebs from my face, putting my feet on old, dirty picture albums, dust rising everywhere, allergies coming up, sneezing every step I take, and also every step I take, there's somebody watching me for some reason. Watching me sneeze. Ain't that weird?
Guards were killed by a succubus.
Suck your mum, yeah, go and do that. My name's Michael.
Succubus? In Novigrad? How? Light of the eternal fire protects...
Must have gone out a few times recently. Anyway, succubus won't harm anyone anymore. Here's proof.
Masterful work, Witcher. And here's your reward, as promised.
Farewell.
Well, now I feel kind of bad about taking that reward because it was like something he put together with his homies to avenge his dead homies, and now we're taking it from him without actually doing the job. And I have a suspicion that that succubus girl will come back to bite us in the ass someday. But, well, yeah. Oh, yeah, right. I was gonna apply my upgrades. I think I will use Adrenaline Burst. Increases adrenaline generation by 5%. Using science generates adrenaline points because fits our build quite nicely. That was a loud noise. It fits our build quite nicely considering that we are... Whoops. Considering that we are constantly using adrenaline points to pop signs. So I hope that kind of plays together a bit. We have a bunch of options to get a boat to Skellige. And I think the Witcher contracts have kind of run out at our level at this point in time. Treasure into something we do more really as like a real side quest. And the races, I don't really want to race right now. So I think we are gonna continue the main quest line for a bit. Go to the Rosemary and Thyme to find the Bard. I think that's where we're gonna fight the Bard. And look at that, we're not that far from him. Dandelion was his name. And apparently, if I'm not mistaken, the narrator of the login screens, of the title screens, of the loading screens is for sure most applicable. Had the time to have an entire day for myself today because my girlfriend was at a wellness and spa and she's on her way home right now. I hope she had a lot of fun. I think she could really use a bit of de-stressing, a bit of bodily focused de-stressing. Earlier today I was thinking about, just thinking about it, I don't know how it will actually work or anything, but I was thinking about sometimes telling my clients, hey, you know what, don't come to therapy this time around, pay some wellness for yourself or pay for a massage.
You stinking scatties. All we wanted was
Something like that.
don't give a flying fuck what you wanted. Get.
Focusing on that bodily side of things is often at least equally as important as focusing on the mental health side of things through speech therapy.
Rip your fucking legs off and shove them up your ass till you've toes for teeth. Get out in the nick of time, as always.
Zoltan, with your boot to someone's ass, as always. Who were those men?
Local colour. I wasn't gone more than a moment. Long enough for them to turn our home into theirs. All right, time for some spring cleaning. I've got to boot them all out. Care to join me?
Oh, sure. How about
pleasure.
fighting side by side with a friend, right? Giving off kind of Legolas and Gimli vibes, right? Oh, he has a blunt weapon that he can use. That seems a bit unfair, considering I'm not allowed to use my swords nor use any signs. Well, I don't think so. No, not allowed that. Boom. These enemies are kind of weak, though. You think you can hit me with that? You are not hitting me with that, you filthy vagrant. It's the dirt of the town. That was easy.
Pleased. That went well. Now we can greet each other like the gods ordained. Ages.
Hey, Zoltan. You look good.
Music is quite loud for... Okay, thank you.
What with the war on, no Mahakaman meat to be found, but Redanian lagers standing in just fine. You, though, you've withered a bit. Something worrying you?
Yeah, there's this herbalist back in White Orchard, and she has this huge ass, right? And I want to ask her to marry her, but I can't
It's
find
about
the courage.
Ciri. I know she came to Novigrad. Might still be here.
You mean she's come back? I'll be damned. I wonder if I'd recognize her. How many years is it now? 6, 7? But what'd she be doing here?
Hiding, probably. She might be in danger.
See her in your dreams?
Couple times. Her and the Wild Hunt.
Oh, not good.
Not at all, but I know she came here and contacted Dandelion.
We've a wee problem then.
Where's Dandelion?
I'd like to know that myself. Maybe he could explain what the hell's going on. I just barely returned, as you saw. Expecting to come home to a hot like a boar and some cold ale. What do you find instead? A shite storm. Dandelion gone, the tavern chock full of bums. Haven't a clue what happened.
Let's look around. Might find something that'll put us on his trail.
Prime idea. I say we start on the ground floor. It's where he sat and wrote.
It's where he sat and wrote. I can't imitate this dwarvish Scottish accent rather for the life of me. Hell, you can notice that I can barely just speak just normal human language.
Letters.
My visage red and hot, I plunged into purest ecstasy.
From the finest vineyards, every last one.
No one knows the fruit of the vine like Dandelion.
This the loot he got from the elves of Dol Blathanna.
Aye. Must have been in a great rush to leave it behind.
Sounds like this guy is quite an important character in our journey in the Witcher universe, because we know quite a lot about him, and we speak quite freely and friendly about him as well. Letter from Fran. When will you return to Sidaris? I hope it will be soon, for I miss you terribly. Waiting to see you again literally pains me. If you are to come, send me a message beforehand. I'll ask my mistress for a day off. If you are to come, send me a message beforehand. That's great life advice, you know, because otherwise the sperm will just fly straight in her hair.
10 barrels of Toussaint Dry, 5 cases of sodden triple mead. Nothing here.
No, that's exactly what we're looking for. It's his planner.
Seems Dandelion's taking the tavern business seriously.
If you only knew. Gives it everything. Not seen him this obsessed ever.
It's a fine looking axe this man has on his
Seems
back.
when he inherited this fine establishment, it came with some fine responsibilities. Bookkeeping among them. He also made a habit of noting down the times of his meetings, official and private. So, Who'd he been seeing of late? Ah, here it is. Seems he's only been meeting women of late. The dog.
That could help.
Not a bad idea. Dandelion's pretty loose-lipped. Might have blabbed something to a lady friend that'll put us on his trail.
That's what I'm counting on. We should divide these somehow. Perhaps... fuck it. I'll ask the lassies in my half, you interrogate the ones in yours. Suit you?
Zoltan, wait. This is in verse.
And you figure that's unnatural because...
Wonderful. Meet me back here when you're done. Share our findings.
Right you are. Need to do a wee bit of tidying before I go. Cannot stomach the idea of coming back to this mess. And you'd be wise to read your bit before you scurry off. If you need anything, I'll be next door.
He speaks in verse. He is a poet. The thrust of your hypnotic gaze left my visage red and hot. The whole world suddenly set to spinning in a whirlwind of oblivion, and I plunged in the purest ecstasy, imbibing its nectar, the music, the singing, you. For that one brief moment, I felt as if I were the lute you so skillfully strummed and wanted nothing more than for you to put your dexterous digits on my soul's yearning chords. Damn, girl. Okay, and this is just about all the girls he is meeting. I'm not gonna read all of that, man. I mean, of course, I read everything related to poetry. I don't read anything related to poetry, but I try to read everything unrelated to poetry.
Looking for something?
Oh, whatever, you know what.
See that everything's in place. Buggers might have hauled something off for pawning.
Actually, glad you're still here. Wanted to ask you about someone.
I think it's easier to just ask him about all of them, but I won't bore you.
Well, she knows the touch of silken lace. She shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace.
Molly keeps things tidy for the Baroness Lavalette.
A baroness within reach, and he settled for a chambermaid?
Dandelion's not one to judge folk by their station. You know that. Like he says, in the alcove, we're all equals.
Yeah. Guess a true poet observes life in all its aspects. Examines it from all perspectives. If I didn't know him better, I'd say he was jealous about this Marabella.
Oh, I doubt it. Former pupil. And well...
Doubt I want to hear them.
Probably better off not.
Meaning?
She had him wearing mummers' costumes. Took to calling him Christian. Referring to herself as Anastasia.
Huh. Truly perverse.
She didn't ken half of it. Called him her stallion once. That's the fool took it as a compliment. Till she pulled a bit in the reins into her cupboard. Poor bastard fled out the window.
Vespula. Name rings a bell. She threw his knickers out the window.
That's her.
Hollered something about him being a scoundrel with a voice like...
Vespula sounds like an old school RuneScape boss.
Threw flower pots at him.
Guess soul flames never die.
Like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, fair Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility, to swing her dwarf with agility. Dwarf. Never suspected he'd be so humble.
Dwarfs what Rosa var Atre named her Guihir. Well chosen, eh?
The fuck's a Guihir?
Alright.
I only know
But
Satisfiers.
Varatra. Her dad happened to be the Nilfgaardian ambassador?
He is. You know him?
Wouldn't say that. Had a brief conversation with him at the palace in Vizima.
Well, then you've a good notion of the kind of bloke he is. Commissioned Dandelion to tutor Rosa and her sister in the art of rhetoric. But wee Rosa preferred swordplay.
How dare she reject the great bard in favor of a common swordmaster?
More than one, it seems. Week on week, we get fresh gossip about her thrashing another instructor. So bad he resigns. Word has it her dad's now looking to hire her next victim. I mean, instructor.
That sounds like a job for us.
A figure most rare, her nature dual. Look deep in her eyes or be made a fool. Well, well, seems fascinated with this one.
Not without reason. Never been much for elven women myself, but this one's exceptional. Dare say Francesca Finderbeard be jealous.
You want to take this one, then?
Nah, you can have her.
Why?
Thanks, Zoltan.
See, elven beauty's like a young Beauclair wine, whereas I prefer vodka straight up.
He wants his woman with a beard.
Well, know about all I wanted to know. Thanks for your help.
Okay, I think I'm gonna keep that dialogue in after all, because I responded to it, and it was quite whimsical and interesting and sexual. And sex sells, you know, so if anything is to be said about sexual intercourse, it is that we should include it in the episode, because it's interesting for the people to hear about it, although that was as vague as descriptions of sexual encounters can get. I still had a blast. Let's talk to one or two of these lasses right now, and then we will head off into the next episode. Oh, look at the beautiful shimmer of dusk with some dried fishies. Oh, yeah, bird circling up above. Maybe attracted to the smell of these fishes, you know? They have the river, the little canal, probably manly dug out by men to hunt for live examples. But here they have them ripe for the taking. I don't know how the people will keep these birds away from their fishies, because they probably need them to get through the winter. Probably some ingenious methods there.
I will get you every lost copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay...
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Hello.
Close enough.
That's me.
Keep out of this, Greyhead, not your concern.
I am the benevolent witcher, but I'm not benevolent towards thieves, right?
Vespula's got someone else's protection
Or,
now.
well, thieves.
Really? Who's that be?
I don't know if they are thieves. Oh, I don't want... Well, do I want to stir up some conflict in Novigrad, or do I want to just stir up conflict with me? Or am I going to do it in name of the King of the Beggars? That might get me in trouble with a person I don't necessarily want to get in trouble with.
Offered her a better rate.
All right. So, let's see if you're a good bargain or just cheap shit.
These people, they have like a disguise on, right? It always makes me wonder. People like this, do they spend time in the bathroom and like get ready for a day working by putting on this disguise? That's funny, right? Or is it just funny to me? Like, imagine somebody in a law firm getting dressed with a suit for his job. These people put on clown makeup. And then for a job that consists of just roaming the streets of Novigrad, bothering everybody, and trying to get money out of cheap wenches that don't stop screaming. Holy shit. That was easy enough.
Blood, all of it. So much work for naught.
No need to thank me. It was nothing.
Sorry. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but everything I had, I just lost.
Maybe I'm too existential therapy pilled, but it is quite crazy to me, like the insignificance death is dealt with in this universe. I just killed 5 people. I probably have a family, have kids, have wives waiting at home, and nobody bats an eye. It's just like, oh, my work is dirty.
I don't... Wait, I know you. You're that witcher I near clobbered with a vase when... Well...
When you kicked Dandelion out, through the balcony. Actually, he's the reason I'm here. Know where he is?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Washerwomen at the
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
I don't know what sudsy means.
But what did he ask about exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
I mean, women are never prone
This
to do
woman
that, so
he was with in the
I
harbor.
don't know what you're talking about.
Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely.
Good one.
Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Okay, thank you for the info.
Thanks for your help.
Delivered quite rudely.
Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
This man must have like a huge penis, or at least be very, very good in bed, because the amount of women he can deceive and cheat on and they still want him back. I was gonna say quite impressive, but I think impressive is not the right word precisely, but I mean, it's quite impressive. Alright, a contract handled without too much violence, which might come back to bite us in the ass later, and then some progress on the main questline, looking for Dandelion the Bard, conversing with all of his wenches, all of the women he recently slept with, to figure out where he has gone off to, with some help of our good friend, apparently, the dwarf Zoltan, who has a very, very nice axe. Thank you so much for joining me, see you in the next one, bye bye.